killers in the building. Big hearts, big scars, big healing. From the hustle to the heartbreak, we coast through what you're really feeling. It's that smooth 1432 vibe, where the crew talk real, let the truth slide. From business to the block to your group chat, from the playbook to the pain you don't unpack. Sports, money, my love, we all locked. Every episode a key to your own lock. Hosted by J Smooth and the 1432 podcast crew.
Creating our legacy in real time.
Cornhole is smooth present. The Smooth 1432 podcast.
What's up, everybody? This is Jay Smooth.
I'm Josh Gilliam.
I'm Mike Elliott. What's going on, y'all?
And this is another episode of Smooth 1432, the podcast. What's going on, fellas?
Nothing much. Everything's good over here, man. You know, fresh off work, and glad to be here.
Yes, sir. What's about you, Mike?
Man, feeling good, man. It's been a productive week, productive day. Looking forward to hearing some good news tomorrow. So yeah, bro, it's doing good over here.
Man, yeah, man. We send all the positive thoughts and prayers towards your way, man, on your new, venture, man. I think you got it, bro. So yeah, most definitely. You got this, man. You got this. And for myself, man, it's another day in paradise, man. We above ground. We having these conversations right now, man. Shouts out to you, man. Shouts out to Robert White, man. Shouts out to Josh Gilliam for putting me in the building with Robert White, who knows LeLe, who's going to be our guest on here. And yeah, man, getting with Job Corps, man. We are going to start a new program. I don't know if Mike, you want to tell them, or you want me to tell them, or what?
Yeah, I tell them. So in coordination with, again, shout out to NAMI STL. This open doors for us to go into Job Corps and do Sharing Our Hope series with the young men and young women there. We've been able to partner with them, I think, the last almost like 8 or 9 months, and we're looking to expand. I know they're looking for programming and things to do with the young adults there. So why not go ahead and bring our brother Jay Smooth there and teach them cornhole, and mixing that together with talking about mental health and building them up, and talking about what we do in our community and exposing them to different things, and creating programming to teach them how to play cornhole, something different. So man, it was amazing conversation. Connection was instant. Man, it just keep going up from here.
Yeah, man. It's going to be called the Smooth 1432 Young Men's Group in collaboration with Cornhole with Smooth Youth Academy, man. Hey, it's been some amazing past few weeks, man. Just the growth that we have gained, man. These last few years have been crazy. It's just the doors have been opening like everywhere for us, man. So I appreciate you guys for, being patient with me, man, and, and standing right behind me, man, as we make things move forward for us, man. Like we said, we on the lane towards our destination, and we almost there, bro. So
yes, sir.
Yeah.
But with that said, we got a special guest coming on today. I just said her name, but it's LeLe with Healing She Got Faith. She is a business owner. She's a community partner, and she's an amazing, genuine supporter of what we do in the community. She just always got your back, man. She just some of my gear and stuff, man, been rocking it. She purchased the bags and everything, man. She been there, since day one, since we met, man. So we're gonna welcome LeLe, Healing She Got Faith, into the Cigar Lounge. What's up, lady?
Hey y'all.
What's going on?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, most definitely. So we get right to it. A lot of people may not know who you are, but go ahead and just introduce yourself.
Yes, so as Jay said, I am LeLe, the founder of Healing She Got Faith. I'm a lover of St. Louis. I always thought I just love St. Louis. Love St. Louis down. But at the center of everything, the reason why I love St. Louis is because of community. I've traveled the world. I've lived other places, and it's just not a community like this. And so how I operate is I really just love community, be in community. That's how I operate. Outside of that, I'm a book lover. I love talking. I used to have my own podcast. Teachers used to say I used to talk too much, and then I grew up, and now I get paid to talk. By trade, By trade, I'm a social worker, so I have my master's of social work in community and organization with a specialization in nonprofit management. I also have a facility in St. Louis, which is Healing She Got Faith presents the Healing Community Office, which it operates as a co-working space, but also to what it has formed into is a lot of local businesses or groups come and just it's a safe space for people to host their places, or if like you a college student, you need a safe space to finish your stuff, or if you need to do a podcast, my office has become that space. And I also specialize in grief specifically for adults. I have a love for teenagers and adults, but the adults really have my heart, and I specialize in grief for adults to give them that safe space. Other than that, I'm a goofy goober. I love to laugh. Yeah, that's LeLe.
That's LeLe. So, fellas, as we do, we got to give a cheers to LeLe right now.
Yes, we do.
Cheers to all that you do. Continue to be that amazing community partner that you are, and we cheering you right now. There you go.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Don't laugh at my slushy.
It's
You got
all
a drink?
We didn't even know it was a slushy until you said something.
I definitely went to Quick Trip. I was like, if we do a cheers, I need a drink.
Hey, there you go. There you go. There you go. Go ahead, fellas.
All right, cool. Well, let me ask you this, LeLe. Now I'm much curious about this. It's gonna be kind of a curveball. So, how would your closest friends and family describe you as a person? Like you described you, but what do you think other people? How would they describe
She a brat. She a brat. She loud. She be laughing a lot. She don't take nothing serious. But don't make her. She a brat. She get overstimulated. She cute, but she a brat.
That's funny.
So you're just a brat. That's it. They gonna say you're just a brat.
Yeah,
Nah, it's more to it. It's more to it.
Yeah.
yeah, they be like, she be so overstimulated. How you be overstimulated? You work with people all day. That's why I am overstimulated.
That's fair. That's fair.
You see that?
Like y'all get it. Y'all get it. Y'all in the mental health field, like
me? Honestly,
no. I mean, I do think they will say I'm a brat, but I also really recently, a lot of them have been giving me my flowers of just how supportive I am, how I just show up, how I do for other people. But I'm still a Puerto Rican chick from St. Louis, so that part still be there. So if she comes out, you know, the badge, the names, the accolades come off, and she still be there. So
That's fair. Okay. That's fair. So we gonna ride with that a little bit. So I mean, other than you saying that you're a brat, in your community, like what experiences kind of shape like who you are today? I mean, you named off your accolades and the things that you've done already, and what you're currently doing in the community, which we definitely appreciate. But you know, what brought you to this point? Like, what did you experience or what did you go through early on to say, hey, you know what, I want to give back and I want to do more?
yeah, so I love this question because I would say it was my parents who really pushes. I come from a household where like my house was the house to be in. Like people came, we had like people having birthday parties at our house. There was always somebody living in our house, and like my running joke is my parents' house was the community center. And so some background about that is my parents is from New York. We moved to St. Louis in 1993 during the 1993 floods. None of our blood family moved, so we had a group of people from New York that we all moved in. That they kind of became our family and community. Not kind of, they became our community family, and just being exposed to the culture of I really fell in love with like the people of St. Louis, but I fell in love with the infrastructure of New York. So how like the communities and the blocks knew each other, the bodegas, how I could walk down the street and see a cousin. So I fell in love with that. Then you come back to St. Louis and you see that my parents just always have their doors open. So we always have somebody in the household, right? You know, as an adult, I've learned, you know, we should have a little bit more boundaries. But as a child, I loved it. I was outside playing. I knew how to ride a bike. You know, I was never scared to get my knees and hands dirty or scraped up or anything like that. But my parents really set that tone of like, we operate out of community. And so that's really what started. I just love being able to walk down the street and see people I love. My biggest goal that I want to see in life is a community center every street, like how we see a Quick Trip, how we see a church on every street, community centers, because to me, that's how I grew up. I grew up like that. I grew up just always being around people. You know, if somebody was hungry, we all ate. Like, so it was just never questioning. Like, the door is open. We love people. We're gonna provide it, and you know, that's just kind of what it is. So that's how I fell in love with community. I give this to my parents. Right now, not right now. That was gonna be an awkward comment. I was gonna say right now my parents are passed, but they've been passed.
Yeah.
I lost them at a pretty young age, but to me they left a legacy.
Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, I can understand.
Thank you for sure.
Yeah. So we're gonna move along and just talk about more of your healing and personal growth, and just thinking like everybody has their own personal journey anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we want to know, and from your perspective, what does healing look like for you?
Oh, yes. For me, healing started off as me sitting in agonizing pain just with myself. So completely sober. I had to isolate myself, a lot of therapy, changing my diet, giving myself a bedtime, finding that routine, finding resources. And to me, healing looked different in different seasons and in different stages for me. And so one of the things I started was I had actually bought this building that I'm in, my facility, and I had saw a young lady doing a 6-month healing journey on TikTok. And so I followed her outline, and that's how I actually started. So that looked like me starting to work out. That looked like me getting into journaling. That looked like me going back to therapy. So I actually, at that point, I had started therapy, and I ended up staying with that therapist for 3 years. And like the therapist saw me just go through different seasons, and I had to address some of the ugliness about myself. I had to address and sit with some of the stuff. When my mom passed away in 2018, there's 2 years of my life after that like, I don't know what I did. I was just kind of here, but I know I hurt people during that time. Like, I know that person, she was ugly. And I had to sit with that for a long time. I didn't celebrate holidays. And like I just said, my household was the community center. So like a phase where like I didn't know who I was. I had gained over like 150 pounds. Like I wasn't the person who I knew I could be. And it was very, very lonely. And so for me, healing started with, I need to do something for me. And I had to start saying no to serving other people, which was very, very hard for me as a community person. I had to be like, I have nothing to give. And I am being a brat. I am being mean. I am snappy because I need to heal. Like, there is a part of me that is just stuck right now. And unless I get up and figure this out, we're not going to be in a good place. And so for me, healing was really sitting in that. And so now what my everyday healing looks like, to me, is like drinking enough water, making sure I got enough nutrients, making sure I sleep. Like, I do not play by my sleep. I have a bedtime and I need to follow that bedtime. Decompressing, getting away from the screens, just really figuring out things. So right now my hobby is reading. I love a good read. And so like making sure I'm making time for that. I have dogs at home, so making sure I'm playing with them and loving on them. And then also just finding the balance of like work and adult friendships or relationships, whatever that looks like. And that has been a new part in this healing journey where I'm like, man, they wasn't lying when they said friendships get a little bit harder when you get into your mid-30s. Like, okay, so this is another avenue. I gotta figure this out. I gotta add this to my routine too. And so one thing I just talked about with my most recent therapist is how routines is part of my healing journey, how I operate better if I do have a routine. And as soon as that routine is messed up, I get messed up. And so how do I come back from that? And so it's being very intentional with myself, with those routines, and just knowing, not only knowing, but being confident in what I know what works for me.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. I do want to say this. You said you found out some things about friends in your mid-30s. Wait till you get in your mid-40s, because y'all like my nieces and nephews and stuff. And I said this in the last podcast. You're gonna have some people in your corner. You're gonna have some people on the corner. So that's a real true statement that as you get older, you're gonna run to some people that's always gonna be just that person you're gonna have a conversation with, but you can have some people that you're gonna build with. And just like I did with these brothers, it's the same thing. Like you said, they're gonna run to different people in your life that you always been close with, but they don't are not on the same mission or have the same visions that you have. So it's nothing wrong with it. It's just you moving in a different lane. That's it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and listen, I appreciate that because as a person also in his mid-30s, I've recognized that you are 100% spot on.
Yeah.
When you say that, yeah, friendships are definitely they change. They change. Your 30s between lifestyle, like milestones happening from getting married or like sometimes in your and when you hit your really when you hit your end of your 20s for real, like we say our 30s, but really like 28, 29
Mhm.
Yeah.
are looking a little different
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
whatever reason.
For real.
Yeah.
And see, my mom died when I was 26. And so when you talk about that age, like your girl went through it because that was such a like just a pivotal time frame too. Like you said, like that's when things start changing. And then she died. I was like, girl, come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you doing? This is terrible. Come back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Wow. Wow.
So let me ask you this now. I know that you are doing the community center thing, like you were doing a lot of stuff in the community. When was that moment where you realized, you know, as well as healing, right?
Mhm.
And doing what you're doing, when did you realize that became part of your purpose?
Man, this is always such a hard question for me because in reality, I want to say I've known this since I was like 12, right? But things have changed. And so I think maybe the vision came to me at 12, but I don't really think I found my purpose until maybe 2020. And I think a lot of, so 2020, I was 30, 31, something like that. So, that's like so many different lives from 12 to, your 30s. But I want to say that I think I had the vision when I was 12 because I was also in a community program. It was a camp program. And I just loved how involved they were in the community. And I loved how they were challenging me in like leadership and emotional skills. Of course, back then at 12, I don't know that I'm learning social emotional skills, but I just love the interaction from the adults and the things that I wanted. Now, come 2020, I'm kind of coming out of that rut and I'm like, I need to do something. And I'm living in New York during COVID. And me and my sister, we're starting these businesses. And then my sister actually encouraged me, like, hey, you got a master's. Like, why don't you do something with, because like I started off feeling She Got Faith as a blog. And she was like, why don't you do other stuff? Like, you have the master's. And I was like, girl, don't nobody want to be an entrepreneur. Like, don't nobody want to do that. That sounds stressful. But she was like, you're already doing it. So why not? And so I think I started off as a blog, and then my siblings really pushed me to be so like, you've been talking about this for a long time. Like, we're just gonna do it. And so like for real, it was my siblings that were like, we're gonna push you to do this. Like, you're about to do this. And I was like, okay. So I was just kind of laissez-faire with it, like to be honest, when I first started, I don't really know that I really believed in myself at first. Like, I'm like, that's cute that they think that this is cool. But I mean, for real, I wouldn't be in a position if it wasn't for like my siblings being like, you've been talking about this for a long time. We see an opportunity. We're going to go ahead and jump onto it. And so I think once I bought the building, once I started seeing things come together, I think that's when it was a wake up call. Like, yes, this has been a dream of mine for a long time, but I don't think I realized it until the frontal lobe actually grew in.
And you know what? That's real though. I think it does take experience to figure it out, right? Especially when you mentioned that your frontal lobe came in, right? Because people talk about the light bulb moment. The light bulb moment really is when your frontal lobe fully forms, right? That's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so, that's a perfect transition actually to my next question. So you talked about how like once you started to believe you could and everything like that, then you started doing more, right? So let me ask you this: other than other than believing in yourself, what is something that you had to unlearn to grow into the person you are now?
Whew. Woo. Okay. What is something I had to unlearn? There was a lot that I had to unlearn. But one things I will say that I think was like one of the pivotal moments was knowing that I don't have to put on a facade to be this professional and to be this person, right? I've always been told because of the way I talk, the long nails, the hair, the earrings, like you ain't never gonna be professional. No one is going to take you serious. You need to learn how to talk. I mean, I even had a lady, this old white lady from she claimed she was from the north side, tell me that I need to go back to school and get a language degree so I can know how to talk. Like like and then like even recently an older lady told me I was like, oh, I wanna be a voice actor. I want that to be my new hobby. And she was like, I'm just curious as to how many opportunities you've lost on because of how you talk. And I was like, what? So I had to unlearn that like who I am is fine. Like who I am as a person is fine. Like I don't have to change or switch up to be this quote unquote successful because I am successful.
That's
I
right.
mean, I own properties. I have a podcast. I used to have a radio show. I've wrote it. I've written a book. I've written multiple books. I've got one published. Like, but even at the end of all that, without all of that happening, after I healed, I felt so in love with myself. Like to me, that was the success. Like I was happy with myself. I didn't have to go and prove to the world who I was because I could finally look at myself in the mirror. And to me, that was the biggest accolade that I could give myself. And just loving who I was, like loving my body, loving my face, loving who I am, and really being like, you are her. Like there is nothing that anybody can take from you because you sat with yourself. You you really acknowledge the things, you find the resources. You're not just talking to people and giving them resources, you're utilizing those resources, which is why you could tell people what resources are out there that exist. And so for me, I had to unlearn that like I don't have to be in a three-piece suit or a dress to be acknowledged. Like I don't have to have French tip nails. Like my colorful nails are okay, you know.
Yeah.
And so it was just stuff like I really had to unlearn that like professionalism comes from a certain system, but like my clientele and my community really speaks to who I am as a community partner first, as a human. And one of the things that people will always tell you about me is that like one, I will give you the safe space to be who you are, and I feed you. Like I don't care what we're doing, you're gonna eat around me. And that's what gets people to feel safe around me is just like you're just Lisa, like you're her. And so that was hard for me because if you could just imagine being told like you ain't never gonna be successful because of how you talk and you gotta change, ain't nobody gonna do this. And I mean to me, I feel like I'm doing pretty good.
No,
You
you
are.
dropping some gems on
You
here. You
are.
dropping a lot of gems right now. I just gotta give you your props on that for real. Like you dropping a lot of knowledge. Stuff that me, Mike, and Josh talk about all the time about us just being yourself, right? When you feel you become who you are and you sit with yourself, and that's when all the success start coming towards you, right? Because you know who you are and you know what you're producing and putting out there. Because I was going to ask you what inspired, Healing She Got Faith, but when you sat with yourself, that's how that started. You
Mhm.
start believing in yourself and you say, I know who I am. I don't care what nobody else says. And I'm
Mhm.
going to put my product out there and my brand out there and you brand it yourself. So I want to give
Mhm.
shouts out to you for doing that, seriously, because
Yeah.
sometimes it takes people a long time to really figure that out, and you went through some traumatic stuff to even get to the point where you at. I lost my dad when I was 19 as a young man. I didn't even know what manhood looked like. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause my dad was gone at 19. That was when I was becoming a man. So I totally understand where you're coming from. I just appreciate you dropping what you're dropping because a lot of people need to hear that. Like straight up.
I appreciate that. And to add on to your question, like my social media handles used to be She Got Faith. And when I started healing She Got Faith, that was inviting the community onto this healing journey. And I didn't know what it was going to look like. I didn't know that I would have a facility, but it was literally the invitation of like, hey, y'all, I'm out this rut. If you want to follow me, cool. This is what I'm going to be doing. And so, like, it morphed. It started off as a Instagram handle, it came to a blog, and now we are running programs, got a facility. I'm working towards more programs and more facilities, but It was honestly just me. Honestly, like when a lot of people ask, like, what was the method to my madness? I just woke up one day and just try some stuff.
Yep.
I just tried it.
Cheers to you.
Yep.
That's good. That's good.
Sometimes that's all it takes is just to get out there and just try. I think that's how we all started. We had an idea. We may have voiced it to a few people that we truly trust, and we just went forward. So I mean, again, kudos to you for doing that, and which kind of leads into I think you've been pretty much saying it this whole time, but healing God faith. I mean, obviously it's your journey and everything, but does it have a more deeper meaning because you have a backing and people that's following you on this journey? Like, what does it truly mean to you?
Yeah, so when I first started off with the She Got Faith title, it was because like I was heavy in the church and I was just that girl. I just had all this faith. Since then, like my spiritual beliefs and religious beliefs have changed a little bit, but the one thing that stayed was like I do got faith. I got faith that things will work out. I got faith that it will happen, and I have faith that like whatever it is, it'll be there, right? And so when She Got Faith got hurt, which is when mom died, that's when the healing part came in. And the healing part was like, okay, we're going to do this. It might be ugly. It might hurt. It might be uncomfortable. And also, too, like for me, one of the biggest wake up calls was I was 15 when my dad died. I was 26 when my mom died. And when my mom died, this was specifically in Missouri at the time. So this is 2018. There were therapy and groups for like people 18 and under, but like for my siblings, we were all 18 and over. And the only thing they really had was like EAP and traditional therapy. And so in my head, I'm looking at this and I'm like, it could be 2 days, it could be 105 years. At some point, you just miss your person, your mom, your dad, your kid, your dog. And so I'm like, we really need more resources. And so I had made a promise to myself that I was going to get better and I was going to find a way to get more resources, which is why I specialize in grief support for adults. Because sometimes I just feel like adults, we have to be strong, we have to be spouses, we have to be parents, we have to be therapists, we have to be politicians, we have to be all these things. But like there are some days that I come home and I just miss my mom and dad. I miss them. Like, and I want to be able to just say that without somebody being like, they're in a better place. They would be so proud of you. Like, shut up. I miss them. Like, let me miss them. I don't care what they feel. They didn't care that I don't care that let me have that. Like, and that's what we be needing. Like sometimes we don't need that toxic positivity of like, it's okay. We don't need that every time. Like sometimes I just want to be like, yes, I'm 34. I miss my mom and daddy. I wish I could call daddy. I wish I could hug my mom right now. Like I wish I had that. And so that's really like what it means to me is like just the hope and the faith that like we will have a safe space to be able to address our grief, address our pain, have the resources to address our mental health. And so that's what it means to me when I say like healing She Got Faith. Like I envision a world where we have the safe space to just be, whatever that means for each individual.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. I just want to ask you this though: what impact do you think your brand has on people in general and women specifically?
Ooh, that is a tough question. What impact? I honestly think that when I see people walk into my facility, the first thing they always say is it feels like home and it feels safe. And I love when I hear that because I'll have we also have a healing He Got Faith. I just want to shout that out. So we have a healing She Got Faith and a healing He Got Faith. Because fellas, we did not forget about y'all. We do have programs for men too, and we do a lot of co-ed stuff as well. But it's beautiful. Some days I walk into this building and I see a group of teenagers in the small room, and they are doing Thirsty Thursday and playing games. I might see a client and her husband with people in the front room and they are just comfortable. And then like anytime everybody leaves, they're just like, thank you so much. Like, I just felt safe here. I really like your building. I really just feel comfortable here. And to me, that's all I wanted. Like, even if I don't offer any other service, if this could just be a safe space for somebody to just be, then I feel like my goal and impact has been made.
No.
So why do you? Well, let me ask you this, and I know as from a LPC to LMSW or MSW.
I'm an MSW.
Okay, to MSW. Let
I'm
me
like, don't
ask
tell
this.
nobody I ain't passed the test.
Oh, listen, that's coming soon. Hey, that's coming soon. That's coming soon. Dude, you gonna pass both of them. You gonna pass both of them.
Get me together. Come on, Josh. Get me together.
So if you can tell us and tell people, why do you think that safe spaces and healing conversations like this are so important right now, though, of any time? Right
Yeah.
now, why is it all important?
Because the world is in shambles because of the systems that are created to keep us in shambles. And there's a lot of things that we're fighting that is out of our control. And so one of the things that me and my community of circle, like my support system, we talk about is like there's some systems in place that we just cannot control as much as we fight them, as much as we go to Jefferson City or call Washington, D.C. Like there are just systems in place that are extremely scary. So what we got to do every day, find those safe spaces for us. We have to decide every day something that makes us happy, because the reality is, yes, I can call DC and call Jefferson City every day, but am I also pouring back into myself? And so to me, I look at the world, I look at the price of gas. I mean, the price of gas can make me cry by itself. Okay. Then I'm looking at like we're looking at like let's not even look at it from a world perspective, but let's look at it from St. Louis. We're coming up on 1 year of the tornado. We're coming up on like we're coming up on the 1 year tornado, and how many people in our community are still suffering. We're coming up with all these elections and the ugliness that has happened within all the elections throughout the municipalities. We're looking at these data center arguments. We're looking at just the shadiness and all that. And so every day we're looking at something that is hurting us. So it is important for us to find these safe spaces every day. And when I say that, I'm not saying like people should come to Healing She Got Faith every day, even though I would love it if y'all do. But what I'm saying is every day that you wake up, take 15 to 20 minutes to just find something that makes you happy. If it's a slushy trip, if it's a walk in the park, if it's hugging your dog, if it's calling your homeboy and be like, hey man, I just really gotta tell you about my day right now. Like, it is so important for us to have this safe and healing spaces, because the world right now is out to make sure that we're suffering. And there's a lot of us that are heads to the ground, but at the end of the day, we still got to take care of us. Because you can be out in the streets every day, but if you're not taking care of yourself, like what are we doing this healing for? Because you still got to pour back into yourself. You still got to, and that's where you got to have that community, right? Like, we still need all of that to exist. And at the end of the day, like, I have faith that we will overcome the ugliness that's happening. Like, I believe St. Louis will, I have faith that we will do good. I have faith that like we'll get strong leadership. But the today of things is they playing in our face, but I still got to take care of me while I'm taking care of the city, while I'm fighting for this city. So that's why it's important to have those safe spaces and those healing conversations, because you can't keep going and going and going. I remember being a protester, and I remember the leaders saying like, hey, this day we're not protesting, we're resting. We protested for 28 days. We're resting this weekend. I remember that. And that was so powerful to me. And I was young back in younger. I wasn't even 30 at that point. But that was something that stuck to me. Like, yes, we can keep fighting, but we still got to pour back into ourselves. And to me, that was a safe space. Hey, we see you've been out here every day. Go home, get some rest. Go to sleep. Go drink some water. Go get some electrolytes. Like, you've been outside. All these, like, please go eat an apple. Do something. Pour back into yourself. You can't do it every day without pouring back into yourself. So that's why I think the healing of the safe space is so important. It needs to be because a lot of times we'll feel weak if we do decide to rest. because we feel like we're supposed to be outside fighting every single day. So it's important to have a safe space. Like if I text y'all tomorrow, I'll be like, man, I did that podcast, but now I'm drained. I'm coming to y'all like, hey, like I've been fighting, and I feel like y'all be like, okay, LeLe, go get some rest. That's okay. Go get some rest. It's okay.
Yeah.
No, you can tell that you done had a podcast before. You can tell. You can tell. No, I'm just saying how you flow with your conversation and stuff like that. It's noticeable, right? I can see that you have had good guests on and have conversations to flow like you do. But the way you answer your questions, though, I don't have to give you your props. You know what I'm saying? You're doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? So we do totally appreciate you being on the podcast, really. So I just want to kind of like highlight that because a lot of times, we have had some great guests and things like that, but how you actually dig into your actual answer, it means a lot more because you get more out of you, then people can learn more about you. So
Thank you.
that's dope.
I thought you were going to tell me like the teachers told me I talk too much.
I mean, you do talk too much, but that's cool. That's the podcast. That's what the podcast for. But now I'm gonna shoot it over to Mike, though. I'm gonna shoot it over to Mike.
Well, hold on. Wait.
Go ahead, Josh. Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait, Mike. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay. So before you say that, I just want you to know, many people know this about me and Mike collectively because he's a self-care life coach, and I'm a licensed professional counselor. If you come around us and say you tired, we gonna look at you, especially if you out. We gonna look at you and be like, "Why are you here? Why are you not in bed? Why are you not so? You at the wrong spot. If you telling me this right now and we in public, you ain't supposed to be here. Go home, Urkel. Right?
I love that accountability. I love that.
We real big on that. And I don't care who it is, man. I have conversations with people all the time, and it's like, "How you doing? Look, why? Well, go sit down. You ain't gotta do it right now. Why I gotta get it done? It'll get done. Go sit down. You'll be all right. It ain't going nowhere." So what I want to ask you, how many siblings do you have? Because I know you keep referring to your siblings, and what did it look like the journey your parents passed?
Yeah. So I have an older sister. We're 10 years apart, and I have a little brother. We're 4 years apart. The journey. So when Dad passed, my sister was 25, I was 15, and my brother was 10 or 11. We were younger. Mental health was not talked about, so grief definitely wasn't talked about then. I remember like people telling me, "Oh, you got to be strong," but it was one person, Miss Paula. And if she watching this, girl, shout out to you. But Miss Paula, she was our neighbor. She was also like one of my mom's besties. But she was the only person that like literally told me like, you don't have to be strong. You fit in. There's nothing to be strong about. Like you're fine. Like, and that always stuck with me because that was the first time that I had heard somebody tell me that like you do not have to be strong. But also too, I'm looking at my parents. They were always the strong folks, right? So I say all that to say with my dad's death, it was kind of a blur. Like we went through so many transitions, and then also too, like I watched my mom have depression. During that time, we also lost the house to foreclosure, and I always tell people that was like my first real heartbreak in like my first time experiencing grief, losing a house. You don't really realize that you grieve stuff beyond death. It's not just physical death, but that we have like when I do my podcast show, we actually have an episode that's literally called Grief Beyond Death, where we talk about stuff like that. And so like I tell people that was the first real time outside of my dad that I experienced the grief, was losing my house. And then when my mom passed away, I felt like everything I suppressed from losing my dad, it came out when my mom passed away. On top of that, me and my siblings, like we were all living kind of all over. And when mom passed away, we all came together. So now we're all back in St. Louis, and we've been back in St. Louis since 2018. And I mean, those are my best friends. Like I can't live without them. We just have figured out how to do life, and each of us have grieved very differently, and each of us have grown very differently. But the fact that like the three of us can come and just accept one another for like, how does TJ grieve? How does Laura grieve? What's Lisa going? Instead of being like, oh, that's Lisa. That's just who she is. Or, how TJ. We don't do that. But we are very intentional about just spending time with each other, about talking. We joke. We take nothing seriously. Like, we have such dark humor too. Sometimes that be throwing people off, but if you've ever grieved, like, grievers are comedians. Like, we are the comedians. And if you see us around, like, that's just how we act. But that losing mom really brought us together. I think with dad, because mental health wasn't talked about, because he passed away in 2007. Back then, going to therapy was such a stigma to it and all that. Even though I will say this, and I give my dad credit, because even though it was the stigma, my daddy had us in therapy, and he had us in like therapy groups and support groups. And so I'm blessed enough to know that, like, he exposed me to that at a young age. My father also allowed me to watch him cry, which when I got old and I found out men don't like to cry, I was like, Daddy, you ain't even here. You didn't set me up right. Like, I didn't know men didn't like to cry, because my hero, he cried in front of me all the time. So and he was a tough guy. But even that, like, just sharing stories with my siblings, and there'll be stuff like, I'll be like, oh, I don't remember this, but my sister remembers it, or we'll see pictures. And so it just really bonded us together in a way of, like, we really do have each other, but we also are very community based. So, like, when the tornado hit, all three of us was out there going, just giving stuff. Even just recently, like, my sister texting us and being like, hey, it's a kid who need to get to prom. He don't got the resources. And me and my brother, like, say less, like, tell us. So, like, I guess you could say we know what it's like not to have stuff and what it is to lose stuff. So, like, when it comes to just supporting each other and supporting people, like, that's one of the ways we just love on each other, is by giving back to the community.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing it. I think, because even in the beginning of your story, you had mentioned your siblings and how much of a impact they made on you, saying, hey, you've been doing this, you got your masters, like, let's go ahead and go, because they believed in you, right? Even when you had that circle of people that said, hey, keep going, keep pushing forward. So shout out to your siblings. Shout out to your community.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Go ahead, Josh.
So I think one of the things I wanted to ask you too, just to kind of stay along the line of this, what kind of feedback / I don't know, testimony or story has impacted you the most since starting your platform, since doing She Got Faith, healing She Got Faith, right? Like, tell me more. Like, what really stood out to you?
Yes. So a couple stories come to mind, but there's one story in particular that comes to mind is I started this group. It was called TNT Grief Support Group, which TNT is Tata and Tommy, which are my parents' names. And that group went for about 3 years. I had about 6 people that was consistent. And I remember the people that signed up for it, they were looking for grief groups, but they didn't really want a religious affiliation. And so I did research on that. Like, most of the grief groups do come from a religious perspective. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I get gripe about me saying it's a non-religious grief group all the time. But the reasoning for that is because one of the things, even though my name has faith in it, I don't want to. It's not associated with, like, any type of religion. And the reason for that is because when we're grieving, sometimes we just don't need that. Just believe in Jesus or just pray about it. Like, what I want to do is I really want to get people to know what grief is, to know what coping with grief is, to know what it is that they're going through. Like, I really want to get into the nitty gritty. I don't just want you to pray it away, because it's not going to work that way. I want you to understand what it is that you're going through, not just, oh, God got me. God got you. And we need to figure out what is the root cause of this, right? And so I remember this group got to that 3-year mark, and you all know, as a life coach and a therapist, that, like, everybody has an exit, right? And so it got to a point where I was like, I really think you guys are ready to move on to, like, another support. You guys have been here for 3 years. And I just remember getting messages from like 5 out of 6, and they had all kind of just started their own journey and texting me back and being like, I don't think I would have been able to go finish this degree if it wasn't for the grief group. I had an older person who she ended up just coming out of her shell, like speaking up for herself, speaking up at work. She went to a conference by herself and she was like, man, like when I first started, I was so timid and like, and when I say older, like 60s, right? And just seeing her like in public, just like she just blossomed, and it was almost like watching a little kid walk for the first time. And so like that was just so beautiful. Like the 6 that came, all they needed was that safe space to be able to address their grief. And when the 3 years came to an end, they were sad, but like they were so ready to like hop back into the world and like start their own beautiful journey. And just to hear them, like I just got a text from someone the other day that was like, hey, I'm thinking about you. Like I done got the degree, I done had another baby, and it's just so beautiful because at one point you all came and you were so broken, but like you're the ray of sunshine. And it's not every day, and I don't expect it to be every day, but I think for me that was such a testimony of like, okay, this is what was needed. Like this was a resource. I mean, this was a need. I said I was going to provide a resource. I did, and look how long it lasted, and look at the results of that. And so for me it was like, okay, people do want to talk about grief. People do want a safe space. People do want to be able to address that. And people are comfortable here. And so to me, it was like, all right, Lee, we got to keep this grief thing going. You can't stop it. Like you on the right path.
Man, that's super. I'm sorry, that is super dope.
Mhm.
But I'm just in listen to your actual responses to the questions. I mean, you keep going back to faith, using the word faith, and healing. She got faith came about. So, what is like the version that you're most proud of becoming? Just I know healing. She got faith is your brand, but as you as LeLe, what is like that feeling for you? Becoming to your own right now.
Yeah. What is that feeling? You asked that, and I don't know if this is going to answer the question, but what came to this noggin of mine is I love who I am today. I
Mhm.
really, really, I think about who I used to be, and I look at myself today, and I'm like, man, that's that faith. Like I
Mm.
see it.
Oh,
I could see
good.
it today. I could see it in healing. She got faith. I could see it in my community partners. I could see it in my curls. Like my curls did not curl for a long time, and they just blossoming now. Like, oh girl, yes, the freckles be freckling. Like the nails be up. Like, oh my gosh, this is
you
yeah.
use some you use some activator. You use some activator for them Jerry curls.
Right.
First of all, it was Breeze. Thank you. But
Ah, answer my
but
question, please.
but yeah, no, for real. Like I feel like the person I am today, the calmness, the goofiness, the confidence is the person even 5 years ago, I dreamed to be this woman. I dreamed to be that person. Like, because there was a time where I couldn't look in the mirror. There was a time where like I hated who I was. I couldn't forgive myself for things. And so like to be this person that like I stand 10 toes down behind her, I love her. I can, hug her and not be like I'm just so comfortable. And so like to me, that was little Lisa, even when she didn't see it, she still had faith that she would be this person today.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I love that. I'm turning over to the fellas. Go right ahead, guys.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead, John.
I'll go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike. You got it.
Um, just listening to your journey is already inspiring. What you overcame, what your family overcame, and what came out of that. You built, your family built, and y'all still constantly giving back. And again, we want to say thank you from us. Just seeing the work that you've been doing, and with that, as we know, like life keeps going. When we all go through things. And so I wanted to ask you, for the little girl out there that went through what's going through things, mentally, spiritually, and they're struggling right now. I mean, what words of encouragement that you could give them?
Man, one, I would tell that little girl, I love you. I would give her a hug. And if she needed to cry or let emotions out, I would let her do it in my chest, right? But my life quote is, I love you, but love you the way you love the world. And what that means is that, it's cool that we love the world, but make sure you pour that energy back into yourself. Make sure you love yourself just as much as you love the world. Make sure you giving yourself that same energy. Don't just love the world without giving back. And a lot of us can look back and look at our moms, our aunts, our dads who constantly gave back but did not show themselves any love. And so we get sad when we think about it. Like, you don't love the world and then you done died at 67, and what do you have to show for it, right? Don't be that person. Love yourself the way you're loving everybody else, because you're deserving of that love as well. Like, you can be in community, please be in community, but also know that it's okay to rest. It's okay to cry. It's okay to love you. Like, it's okay to flaunt who you are. Like, it is okay. Love you the way you love the world.
I like that. I like that. You got to quote that. You got that on the wall at the building?
I
Somewhere? See?
do.
Oh, that'll work. That'll work. Go ahead, Josh.
Well, I kind of wanted to kind of ask you one more question, right? Um, what brings you peace
Ooh, what
these
brings
days?
peace? Let me tell y'all. Sensory deprivation. Oh, I love it. When I say it's nothing like coming home to a dark house, quiet everything, and just sitting. I'm talking about like, and learning how to turn your mind off. Like, and a lot of, especially a lot of us that work in the community in some of the industries we work in, but like just being able to see, and I don't have to always be at home. Like, I could do it like if I'm at work, or even if I'm at a community event, I need 15 minutes, going to my car or just finding a peaceful corner, and just I make it peaceful, right? Because we're not always going to be in situations where we can turn off the noise, but just being able to sit, decompress, and just turn it off. Like I joke a lot of times. I'll be like, sometimes this is a screensaver. You can see pictures, but nothing's processing, right? I can shut it all off. I can shut it all off. That brings me peace. Being able to make the quietness even in a loud world. But like, I love going to like Flow STL. Shout out to them. This is, if you haven't been there, please go and try them. But like, I started doing sensory deprivation there. But like, and from there I've learned to like do it at home, do it at work, do it in community. And like, sometimes like I work with a lot of high schoolers. Sometimes that's me going to the bathroom, turn off the light, and just standing there, right? And just taking 5 minutes just to do that. And so to me, quietness, stillness brings me peace.
Mhm. That's good, and I'm glad you
Man,
mentioned that because I was actually gonna bring up Flow STL and ask you if you done it, because I people make fun of me for like doing these self care. So like when I go to Flow STL, I be telling people all the time. I say, listen, y'all need to go. It's not weird. You're fine. The lights gonna be off. Gonna be some low ambient music. You ain't
Mhm.
gotta worry about drowning because you're gonna float.
Mhm. Correct. Correct. Let me tell y'all, for I think it was 2 birthdays ago, I rented out the whole float STL, and I took about 12 people, and that's what we did. We floated. We did the Maryland Heights one. We floated. We did the sauna and the massage chairs, and it was just my group, and that was like my gift to them. We had brunch in the morning, and of course didn't do no alcohol, no coffee, because that defeats the purpose. But we did brunch in the morning, and what I did was I brought everybody in, and I had a box, and they could ask any question they wanted before we went, and then we all drove over there together, and we did that for like 4 or 5 hours. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful.
that's so dope. That's so dope. Yeah,
So if
Lily,
y'all
we
want
just want
to
to
do a
go
program,
ahead.
let me know.
No. Get them a shout out again. Get them a shout out again.
Okay, if y'all want to do a program at Flow SDL, let me know, because listen, we can get it cracking.
Yeah. No, we want to thank you for coming on. It's been very inspiring. Great conversation. Great conversation. A lot of gems been dropped. You have a lot to say, which is amazing. No, you know what I'm saying? It's funny at the same time, but you have a lot of great things to say because, a lot of times you have people don't say, nothing at all, so, but you are saying a lot of great things. We appreciate you for coming on. But before you leave, I want you to drop, your socials, give
Mhm.
shouts out to your friends, family, sponsors. I want you
Yeah.
to do all that before you leave.
Yes. First of all, I just want to thank y'all for having this platform and for all the amazing work that you all do. So I just want to say thank you for that. It definitely does not go unnoticed. And any way that myself or my organization can support you on anything, please just let me know. Because I will definitely make it happen. So thank you all. Y'all did that.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank
I
you,
appreciate
thank
y'all.
you.
Yeah, thanks for giving me the space on your platform. So I thank y'all. But on all of our social medias, it's literally Healing She Got Faith, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Is Healing She Got Faith across the board. Our website is healingshegotfaith.com. That's where you can book the co-working spot. You can also see what programs we got going on. We do have a really big retreat coming up. It's the Adult Grief Camp. It will be August 28th to August 30th. And I was very intentional with that. And I'm so excited because it's actually on National Grief Awareness Weekend. Well, day, the 31st or the 30th. But that will be in August. So you can go on the website and buy your tickets there. It is a overnight and we'll be in Eureka, Missouri. So I'm super, super excited about that. And then my family, Laura, TJ, love y'all, Sam. And then my community, everybody watching. I just love y'all. Y'all know I love y'all. So
No, that's dope. So, since you have the building, the Healing She Got Faith, how about we do a live podcast at the spot?
ooh, don't tempt me with a good time.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get that together. We would love to come in and do a live podcast with you.
Yes.
That'll be
Absolutely.
super dope, super dope. And maybe we bring in one more guest or something like that to come on or whatever, maybe one of your teenagers or something like that we could talk to. Because
Yeah.
we do, Mike and Josh do have the youth men's group, so we
Yep.
can try to do some coordination with that, some collaborations with that. So there's a lot we could talk off air about that we can do together. But again, shouts out to you. Thank you for coming on the podcast. We truly appreciate you,
Absolutely.
and continue to do great things in the community. Continue,
Yes, thank
continue,
you.
continue.
Thank you. We really
Thank
appreciate it.
y'all. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And
Y'all are dope.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that. So, thank you for coming on, and you have a good rest of your night.
Thank you. Bye,
All
y'all.
right. Have a good
Have a
one. Have a
good
good
one.
night.
Have a good one. Have a good night. Hey, man, great conversation, fellas. Great
Man, that was
conversation,
dope. That
man.
was dope.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That was
yeah, yeah,
dope.
man. So, what's your thoughts, man? What's your thoughts?
Man, we gotta, support each other, especially when it's right in our backyard, man. Um,
Mhm.
I know a lot of times we look for things at our jobs and trying to use those resources, but we got something down the street and
Yes,
we got
sir.
to support them the best way we can because they there to support us. We just got to continue these conversations and continue networking so everybody can see, that people are out here for us.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
What about you, Josh?
Yeah, no, I think we definitely have to continue these conversations because I think as many people are sitting around, right? I think that as many like I think what happens in St. Louis, everything gets so siloed, right? Like people have
Mm,
different spaces that they move, right? And I think that these conversations, bridging the gaps, trying to get more exposure of the different businesses that are going on because healing she got faith, who knows, I might have somebody on my timeline who been going through who need to pull
yeah,
up there and see what's going on, right? You may have something like that, right?
yeah, yeah.
I think that again, like these conversations are way too important and it's been too long overdue that we have a space like ours that's helping bridge the gaps between these different silos in St.
Yep.
Louis.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
And I do want to tell the people who are, tuning in with us, if you guys just want to join the podcast, or just want to have a conversation with just me, Josh, and Mike, just inbox us or whatever the case may be. We'll set something up for you guys. If you want to be on a Smooth 1432 podcast, let us know. If you want more information about the Smooth 1432 Youth Men's Group or just the 1432, young men's group, just let us know, man. We jacks of all trades. If we can't answer the question, we networking with somebody that or connected with somebody that can answer those questions or get you in or something like that, man. So most definitely tap in with us, man. It's just the beginning for us, man. We're just trying to get things rocking and rolling, man. We've been having some great conversations, man, these last few months, man. We're gonna keep it moving and shaking, man. If you guys got anything else before we get out of here?
Yeah, Josh.
I don't have anything. I don't have anything. I'm good.
Well, just again, brothers. I mean, great conversation, great work as always. Man, let's continue being great. Like I say, man, we create our legacy in real time.
Oh, Tess, I love it, bro. I love that. Well, man, I'm Jay Smooth.
I'm Josh Gilliam.
And I'm Mike Elliott.
And this is another episode of the Smooth 1432 podcast. Peace.
Peace.
Is in the building. Big hearts, big scars, big healing. From the hustle to the heartbreak, we coach through what you're really feeling. It's that Smooth 1432 vibe, where the crew talk real, let the truth slide. From business to the block to your group chat, from the playbook to the pain you don't unpack. Sports, money, my love, we all live. Every episode a key to your own life. Hosted by Jay Smooth and the 1432 podcast crew.
Creating our legacy in real time.
Cornhole is smooth present. The Smooth 1432 podcast.